It's Star, and I'm doing a quick video before I go jogging. And basically what I wanted the video to be about is how, in this life, I got an inbox that I just read, and the person is going through what I call recovery. And recovery from life choices is something else. It can be hard to recover from life choices. I got a ponytail again, you guys. I remember I had no hair. It's growing back slowly but surely. But anyway, recovering from life choices is not easy at all, and especially when we feel like those decisions have made us unwell in body or spirit. And when those decisions have made us unwell in that mannerism or in that way, we can feel like it's so hard to get back to the space of where you put your life back on track. This video is one mostly sweating. It's hot. See that? The sweat is good. Means the body's detoxing as it needs to. It can seem difficult, when you're in a space where you have to start from scratch, or what feels like scratch. But the difference is, number one, when you're in recovery, you're coming with a lot of wisdom. And if you can forgive yourself for choices that you feel were not most loving to you, and learn from not being loving before what being unloving to oneself creates, you can begin to take that energy and move it in a positive manner for your life. Number one, you know something now that you didn't know before about you, about life. And a lot of times it can just feel like you're energetically depleted. And I think sometimes when we're going into life changes, and what I mean by life changes, because life is always changing and changing, life is just always happening, but I mean going into life changes, going into making better choices and doing things differently. One of the things that helps is that your energy is kind of low, because if you have low energy, you have less room to go out and do something destructive to yourself. You'll find a lot of times you just want to rest, and that's part of recovery, resting, giving the body the rest that it needs to, for the heart to heal, and the mind and the heart to be well, and the mind to come into a state of ease, and then begin to take what you've learned and make it applicable to everyday life. So when you feel energetically depleted after major life changes or major life realizations, it's really a blessing in disguise, because now you're being forced to be still, to sit with you, and hopefully in that time you'll be gentle with yourself and love yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive everybody else that you think is the issue, because it's so funny, the more I grow, the more I heal, I realize how much I felt alone, which alone was more of how I thought than what was the reality. There were people always around willing to help me or love me, but a lot of times I wouldn't let them, or even worse, even in the midst of them trying to, I was so busy saying how alone I felt that I didn't realize that I was sitting next to someone who was holding my hand. So was I alone, or did I think I was alone? What was the truth of that, And there's a lot of times you can feel like people really aren't on your side. And in those instances, is it true that people really aren't on your side? Or is it the fact that maybe some people aren't standing for the lies you're feeding yourself? Maybe they're not willing to allow you to pretend that things are okay where they're not. And maybe they love you enough to be honest with you, and a lot of times we can't handle that kind of honesty, especially when we want to do what the hell we want to do. So then now we're alone, and no one gets us, and no one understands us. Sometimes people are understanding you just fine. Sometimes you're not understanding yourself, You're doing things that don't match what you might be saying about what you want or what you need, or the things that you're doing are depleting you, and then we get upset when people want to speak into our lives But if you are using their energy and their effort and their time as they're trying to support you, they do have some kind of say in what they're willing to watch you do to yourself. Nobody has to sit around and watch you hurt you. And so if you feel like you're in a place of recovery where you're realizing things and you're awakening to some things, it's easy to get caught in, I did it wrong, I hurt people, I hurt myself, I messed up, I'm so far behind. Do not let your mind or ego keep you hostage to behaviors that do not serve you with that kind of thinking. Be gentle with yourself and love yourself and nurture yourself, and look at the fact that first of all, you made it through all of that, whatever it was, all of that drama, all of that pain, all of that destruction, and you're still here. You know, we can get so caught up on our bodies or our abilities. And there's this guy, I don't know his name, but I see his videos sometimes, and he's very inspirational. He was born with just a body and basically a head. He really doesn't have legs or arms. But his heart is huge. He's out here surfboarding and playing music. He does every damn thing he wants to do. Why? Because his heart is big enough, and he never let the fact that he didn't have arms or legs keep him from moving the way he could move. And so if you can't do everything you want to do right now, you can do something you want to do right now. You can do something to change your situation right now, even if that's just changing the pattern of your thoughts. There's something you can do to make today brighter. There's something you can do to make your load lighter today. It may just be changing your thoughts. It may be cutting off a certain type of relationship. It may be going out and sitting in the grass and getting some fresh air. I don't know, but it doesn't have to be huge, because all of it is huge. Nothing is big or small. We think there are things that we can measure. That one step that you take is what leads to the 1,000 step, and you will never get to the 1,000 step if you don't take the first step. So there's something you can do right now to make your heart lighter, and most of it's going to come from forgiving yourself, trusting yourself to see yourself through. Not only do you have, because the person was like, I don't know if you have enough energy to help me, and I'm like thinking to myself, I have enough energy to do whatever the universe has proclaimed and ordained my being to do. I've come here fully energized for whatever it is. Even when I am at my lowest, I'm still able to give some of my best and highest love. So there's nothing that I don't have enough to give, to share, to help carry and lift energetically the people I love. But the beauty is, you have enough energy to hold you in this moment. You have enough energy to change your atmosphere. You have enough energy to attract the kind of people in your life that can support you. You have enough energy